All right, in the second video, we've already established in the first video, motivation. Why are we doing this? Well, now it's go time, people. We got to start setting the stage as far as, goals. Why are we doing this? And ultimately, this isn't for anybody else. This is for you, okay? To me, these changes, these lifestyle changes are kind of like investing in the stock market. Nobody invests $1 million today expecting to be, a double millionaire tomorrow. That's not how it works. We invest, we wait, we watch the changes, and hopefully we have something much greater in the future. That's really what dieting is all about. Anybody that's looking for the quick fix and all these promises that this industry is trying to sell you, they just don't work. And to be quite honest with you, you're setting yourselves up for long-term failure. What it really boils down to is this. Your mindset needs to be as follows. Whatever path you choose, whatever diet you choose, whatever modality, your goal is one only, and that is to go after body fat, right? I tell everybody, we're not after weight loss. It is fat loss only while maintaining this precious thing called muscle mass, all right? So whichever program you embark on, that always needs to be in the back of your mind. Is what I'm about to do going to help me keep my muscle as I slowly chisel away the body fat? And if the answer is yes, and you enjoy it, then you've got a good program, okay? But when we talk about that, people come in my office, well, Bill, what's a good body fat percentage for me? Or what should I shoot for? Well, to be honest with you, you're not doing this for me. This is for yourself. So let's talk about, well, what is a healthy body fat percentage, all right? For men, is it anywhere from 8 to 15%, okay? And for women, it's anywhere from 18 to 24% body fat, okay? And obviously, as we age, they move those ranges up a bit. But in my, honest opinion, I think every man walking this planet should be close to six-pack abs. Now, why would I say that? It has nothing to do with appearance. Yeah, having nice abs is a cool thing. But think about this. We're all of our major organs, primarily through this area. Well, if I've got a lot of body fat here and basically suffocating those organs, all right, it's very dangerous. This leads to diabetes and a whole slew of health problems. Now, I can't look you in the eye and say, hey, listen, if you walk around with a nice flat stomach, you're not going to develop cancers or various diseases. But I think you lessen the odds of those things happening. I mean, could we agree on that? All right? I don't need some funded multi-million-dollar study to tell me that. It's common sense. All right. So, a good healthy body fat range for men is, again, 8 to 15%. As you do this, all right, you don't go after your almighty goal right off the bat. If you have a lot of body fat to lose, man, that could seem insurmountable. But if you think about it, if you have 100 pounds to lose, it's not really 100 pounds, it's 100 one-pound blocks, is it not? So that's how I like to look at this. Instead of looking at, like I said earlier in the first video, yes, I want you to have this definitive goal of what you want, all right? You have to have that final outcome. Otherwise, we kind of flounder a little bit, don't we? All right? So yes, I want you doing that. But then after that, to get to that final destination, we want to break it up into smaller goals, okay? Now, one of my favorite things to do is this, commit to paper. Right? So what I have a lot of my clients do is grab a small little piece of paper and on the top line, write something down that you want to do or achieve in the next 6 weeks. It could be a body fat goal, if you want to lose 5 or 6 pounds of body fat. It could be, I'm going to give up soda. Pick one thing. When we try to do 4,000 things, we're going to fail. Let's pick one thing we really want to focus on over these next couple of weeks, all right? And make it challenging. Don't make this easy on yourself. Make it challenging, all right? That's the first thing. The second line, yes, I want your ultimate goal. What is it? I want to be a certain percentage of body fat, or I want to fit in this dress size, or whatever. Again, for each of us, it's our own journey, all right? You write that down on the second line. On the last line, you put down the reward for yourself. What is it that you're going to do for yourself for achieving this goal? We live through excitement, right? It's got to be a reward, something that you're going to look forward to. I'm going to book a trip. I'm going to go on a shopping spree, whatever that may be. So, but that is your reward for what if you achieve your final outcome. Now, that piece of paper sits on your bathroom mirror. So it's one of the first things you see at night when you're brushing your teeth, and it's also one of the first things you see when you wake up in the morning brushing your teeth. Look at it, read it, get it so deeply ingrained in your mind that no matter what, you are going to fight like heck to achieve that. All right? Now, so what is achievable? Okay? To be quite honest with you, that's really up to you. Isn't it? I mean, it's one of these things, you have to believe this is going to happen. You have to take your time with it, and you have to never give up, all right? If that is the case, then let's take a step back. What is achievable? All right. The industry wants to make it sound like, oh, you could lose, 20 to 30 pounds of fat in a month. No, you can't. The body can only metabolize approximately 1 to 2 pounds of fat per week. Now, that may not sound like a lot, but if you remember, guys, that's 1 pound, right? This is my fist. It's larger than my fist, all right? A pound is a lot. This is 3,500 calories, guys. Do you know how long it took you to store 3,500 calories to become a pound of fat? So if you lose that in a week, are you gaining a pound of fat every week? No, you're not. So in reality, it's actually coming off fairly quickly as compared to how long it took you to put this on. But let's play devil's advocate for a minute. Let's say you could lose 20 to 30 pounds of this in a month. Would you really want to? If you think about it, if this is sitting directly into your skin and you're losing massive quantities of this every single week, where's that skin going? Guys, it can't keep up with that kind of loss. So even if it was feasibly possible, which it is not, those things, they infuriate me. When I'm in a checkout line at a grocery store and I look down, I see this, absolutely, exaggerated, claim. It drives me insane because when people are doing this and they're not achieving these massive, body fat loss goals in a month, people start to feel, well, maybe I just don't have it in me, or I'm doing something wrong. No, you're not doing anything wrong. You've been misled. Most of this industry misleads us because they're trying to sell us something, right? What I'm selling you is hard work and sensible eating plans. That doesn't make anybody any money, right? But that's how this is achieved. But more importantly, this is how this is maintained. So again, getting back to this, we don't want massive quantities of this coming off of our body. I tell people we want it slow and steady. When the body fat loss is slow and steady, several things happen. Number one, it's more likely to stay off. And in the grand scheme of things, isn't that probably the most important thing, right? Why work this hard if it's coming back? You failed, in my opinion. It doesn't do you any good if on 3 months you're in the best shape of your life if today the majority of it's back. So we don't want fast. We want slow and gradual. The other reason we want it to be slow and gradual, we're more likely to lose fat, not muscle, right? We've already alluded to it before. We don't want to lose any muscle. Not trying to sound weird, but if you want to like the way your body looks outside of clothes, you better keep that precious thing called muscle mass on your frame. Because if you're dieting that away too, oh, you're going to look great in clothes, but when the clothes come off, you are not going to be happy. And when all is said and done, isn't it the most important thing? We need to be happy with ourselves. Obviously, we want to be healthy too, but let's be honest, we got to be happy, right? And so our goal, like I said, is to just shed this and do this at the right rate that we also give the skin the ability to tighten up. So we're not looking for rapid weight loss here, guys. It can't happen. So again, slow, steady progress is critical. It's the key, all right? So with that being said, when you're developing your what percentage should I shoot for, I'm a big fan of doing this. I'm a big fan of striving for something that challenges you, but also is very achievable, but also gets you very close to possibly your final goal. Because think about it, when you're down those last couple of pounds, oh my gosh, now you're excited, right? If you had 50 pounds to lose and you've lost 47, I mean, what do you think your mindset's like at that point? It's not where it is today, right? So this all boils down to is set small-term goals leading up to your final long-term goal, okay? And you do it in small chunks. That's the hands down the best way to do this, all right? And never, ever, ever be misled by promises of faster weight loss, because it does not work. There's only so much that the body can metabolize and burn, so much fat that you can actually get rid of, and you don't want to try to exceed what is possible, because that is when you are going to be very disheartened, because you are not going to see what you were hoping to see, all right? Now, how do we measure this, all right? So we're scale people, are we not? Every morning we step on a scale. I say we, but most people step on a scale. And it kind of dictates how their day is going to go, especially if they're dieting hard. If the scale doesn't reflect what they're hoping to see, they're discouraged, right? But what you understand is this is not how this works. The body doesn't go, oh, this guy's eating a bunch of salad. Clearly, he wants to lose body fat. So come on, let's go. Every time this guy steps on the scale, he's going to see some amazing change. But I think that's what we think. We assume, all right, I gave up the chips, I'm doing this, I'm eating better, I'm drinking my water, I'm exercising. I am going to see some, oh, wait a minute. I'm up a pound. What's going on here? This can't be right. Well, the fact of the matter is the scale is going to change almost by the hour. What is that? Is that fat gain and fat loss? Of course not. It's water. Guys, we're 70% water. And depending on what you eat can dictate how much water you actually retain. If you eat a salty, rich, salty, meal the night before and it's really carbohydrate laden and you slam down a bunch of water, you're going to be up several pounds the next day. Is it fat? Of course not. And in a day or so, that water is going to be gone. Yet so many people focus on the scale. To me, the scale's irrelevant. It doesn't tell me anything, right? And when my clients come to me, they're like, Billy, I just lost 10 pounds. The first thing I'm thinking is, that's fantastic. What did you lose? We can't assume it was fat, right? What if it was all muscle? Or what if you're just slightly dehydrated that day? That doesn't tell us anything. It just says this is what you weigh today, all right? I'm not saying don't ever step on a scale. For some people, it keeps them motivated. If they see it going up and they know in their heart of hearts they're not following the diet properly, if it kind of keeps them honest and accountable, then yes, I think a scale serves a purpose. But to step on it daily, expecting to see, amazing change isn't going to happen. It can be very, disheartening. And if you're embarking on a weight training program, which I really want to encourage you to do, that scale is definitely not going to be your friend, because you're going to be gaining some muscle mass, especially if you've been sedentary for quite a few years, right? Well, if you're gaining muscle mass, obviously the scale isn't going to change, or it might even go up. But I want to show you something. This is a pound of fat. This is a pound of muscle. Look at how much smaller and more dense muscle is. These each represent a pound. You could lose 10 pounds of this, gain 10 pounds of this, weigh the exact same on that scale, but yet look totally different. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what we weigh. No one knows what we weigh. I don't introduce myself. Hi, I'm Bill Haskins. Oh, by the way, I weigh 153 pounds, right? We don't do that, right? You drop until you're happy. When that mirror reflects what you want, you're there. Then whatever you weigh is what you weigh. But what you want to be concerned with is, as you're dropping this weight, we want it to be body fat only, all right? And the only way to really do that is through body fat analysis, right? So there are many ways to assess your body fat. You've got skin fold, you've got caliper, which unless you're dealing with an expert, it's not going to be very accurate. If you're doing this yourself, it's pretty hard to do. You got to make sure you grab the exact same location every time. There are numerous types of body fat tests that are out there. You have to have a very, very good high quality caliper. Those can be very expensive. You could go to a trainer at your local gym. A lot of them have access to calipers and have done numerous body fat tests. So that would be a place to go. At my gym, we use something called bioelectrical impedance, where we test body fat. Really, really like that form of testing. You've got hydrostatic weighing. It's very expensive and kind of hard to find, but that's basically a dunk tank. That's a form of testing. Probably the most accurate is something called DEXA. DEXA is a very, very expensive machine. Most of your bigger universities will have it in their sports/athletic department or exercise phys lab. They usually charge $25 to $50 for a test. But if you want a really, really accurate test, you've got DEXA. But either way, I think some form of body fat analysis is very important. As you're embarking on this, you want to know what is it that you're losing, okay? So that being said, there are so many scales that are out there, and they're the type you step on, and it gives you your weight and it gives you your body fat. I'm going to be honest, I'm not here to slam any companies, but I've yet to really find one that I think is very, very accurate. What I found them to be is horribly inaccurate towards the worse end, meaning they tend to represent a much higher body fat than what you actually have. Well, that's not good. I mean, that can be extremely disappointing. So again, I would try to find somebody in your area, just call around, that does specific body fat testing, has a history with doing it. And even if there is a plus or minus error of say 3% with that body fat test, as long as you keep using the same test, you're going to get quite a bit of accuracy there. All right. So I think body fat testing is very important. I think taking key measurements is very important. You see yourself every day. And if you're anything like me, you get out of the shower and you're looking at your troubled areas. Well, guys, those are the last to go. All right. I tell everybody, when you come to me for a follow-up, you can be in a trench coat. I just need to see the face and the neck, and I can determine if you're losing weight. Why? Because we melt from the top down and the bottom up. All right. Our troubled areas, the last to go, and there is no such thing as spot reducing. You can do crunches until the cows come home. That's not going to lead to six-pack abs. We have to develop our abs, and then we have to remove the body fat. Then you have six-pack abs. All right. So troubled areas, last to go. So don't fall for these programs that have these creams and all this other nonsense that's going to help you get rid of it. It's not. It's diet, patience, and hard work. Okay? No, that's probably not what you want to hear, but it's the truth. Okay. So measurements. If you're not sure where to measure, there's many videos on YouTube. I'm going to do one in the future where I actually show body fat testing being conducted. I will show you how to do certain key measurements in certain specific spots. But until I do that video, if you want to get started, I would just Google or YouTube, key measurements. And typically, I like doing a measurement of the neck, the midline of the shoulder, across the nipple level of the chest, the umbilicus or the belly button, largest part around the hip area, glute area rather, and then mid-thigh and mid-calf, all right? If you do your measurements, which I strongly recommend, try and do those once a month along with progress pictures, all right? I think progress pictures speak volumes. We see ourselves every day. We're not gonna notice the change. But man, there's something to be said about taking a picture, putting them side by side, and when you see the change that way, it can be so motivating. These pictures are for you. They're not for anybody else. So don't worry about, I don't want anybody to see me. They're for you. And you're using them to critique yourself. You're not using them to bash yourself or, I hate this about myself. That's irrelevant. That's just unwanted energy. We've already alluded to that. That's what body fat is. Well, now we've got some proof of where we've got it, and now we're going to have some proof of where it's going away. So I think progress pics are huge. Now, if you do progress pics, here's the key. Use the same camera, which most people will be using their smartphone or something like that. Wear the same outfit, same time of day that you do the measurement, and same distance. And you want to be fairly close. You don't want these super far away shots, you can't see anything. And you don't want one picture where you're close, another one where you're far. Again, we want it to be fairly universal so that as we're putting these pictures side by side, we can really see what we hope to see. And to me, the back is one of the most magical body part areas because the back, when it's lean, man, there's muscles everywhere. And to me, it's pretty neat because it's an area that shows a lot of definition, yet unless I've got a mirror or some cameras taking pictures, I can't see what my back looks like, nor can you really. So I think, taking selfies, progress pics, if you will, once a month, along with your tape measurements, can go a long way with really, shaping your mindset on all this. Because to be honest with you, dieting is like a relationship. I mean, if you think about it, when you first meet somebody, they're like, they can do no wrong. This person, wow, awesome, right? You're excited. It's something new. Well, dieting is kind of the same thing, isn't it? Especially now, this time of year, it's January. We're excited. We want to see some change. So we're gung-ho. And, well, let's go back to that relationship for a minute. After a while, a couple months go by, you start to notice, wow, man, this person isn't quite what I was expecting. You start to see maybe some differences there, and there's boredom, and it's monotony. It's the same old. Sounds like a great relationship, doesn't it? But my point is, but you fight through that, and you keep going, and there's a deeper meaning why you're together, and it's pretty neat how that evolves. Well, the diet's kind of the same thing. You start off with all this vigor and excitement, and then over time, it gets kind of boring. I mean, you're in the trenches now. You're not seeing the change sometimes. You kind of forget why you even started this diet in the first place. And so you go through a lull, if you will. And it's then where you realize how bad you want this, right? And so that's where we got to have some escape plans too. When we start feeling ourselves getting burnt out, or shake things up a little bit. And we'll get into that in future videos. Today I just wanted to kind of talk about goal setting. How do we do this? And some key measurements, okay? So please, if you have any questions or anything, comment below, subscribe to this channel, share. I want to help as many people as I possibly can. Press the like button. If you press the dislike button, I will find you. I'm just teasing. Or am I? No, I am. Anyway, I really appreciate your time, guys. I hope you get something out of this and each video. I'm new to all of this. I've never filmed myself before. It feels kind of strange, but I promise you, I'm going to just keep giving you the best content I can. I'm going to keep it honest. I'm going to keep it simple. Hope to see you next time. Be blessed, everyone. Bye-bye.